Guys, welcome to Chocolate 8 video collection. If you noticed, we have our week 1, week 2, and now it's our week 3. If you haven't watched our week 1 and week 2, please do watch it. And before we start with our week 3, I have disclaimers list for you. First is translations of words may differ and will depend in the gender of the person we are referring to, and that is what we call the gender specific. Like for example, I'm talking to my son, I will say bonito, ari unyo tu. But when I'm talking to my mother, I will say bonita, ari unirse tu. Okay, and our second is how I used to pronounce the words are based on its spelling. Just let me inform you that some words might be pronounced differently in relation with their exact spelling. Best example for that is when we see the word rendezvous, we will be confused if what is the, or we will be at first under the impression that it will read as rendezvous, but if you're going to look at its pronunciation, it needs to pronounce as rendezvous. Another best example for that is vous, which is a translation of you in French. If you will listen to its pronunciation, it is a silent S. It pronounces as vous. Alright? And let's go to our third one, which is there are different punctuations above the letter itself as well that symbolizes ways to pronounce the words, or some words rather. And another best example for that, if you are able to notice, there is a long dash above the A sometimes, and if you are going to search what is the meaning of that long line, it will inform you that we need to pronounce that specific word with a long dash above its letter as a long A or a letter by itself. Alright? Let's go to our fourth one. Translation of words may varies because synonyms of the translated words in question might be the one being translated. Best example for that is way back before I researched the translation of your, and I have Vash as its translation. Victory Alpha Sandra Hotel. But when I made research again, I have tvoy Tango Victor Oscar Yankee as a translation of your. So I am wondering why there's a changes in the translation of yours. So I made a reverse. What I did is I made it Russian to English. I put bash to be translated in English, and I have your as its meaning as well as tvoy. I have your as well. And we have fifth one, which is translation of words may varies when you make research of a translation word per word and typing the complete words at a time, all at once. Best example for that is when we research good morning in Japanese. When we research that all at once, we will have a translation as Ohayo gozaimasu. But if you will observe, right, I make research about its translation by typing word per word. I type good It provided me yoi as its translation, and I typed morning. I have asa as its translation. So if you're going to incorporate those two words, I have yoi asa. But if you're going to type it all at once, you will have ohayo goza imazu. Another back example I made again, good afternoon in Japanese, and when I made it all at once, I have good afternoon as konnichiwa. When I made a research of its translation word per word, I have yoi gogo. Another one, good evening. I type good evening. I have konbanwa when we typed it all at once. But if we type it one word later, I have yoi ibu niyo. So there's a difference. But now, let me inform you guys that I am practicing having word per word, because I believe, in my opinion, that it will be easier for me to incorporate some words to integrate new sentences in the future. And now I already finished the 5 disclaimers list for you. Let's go to our week 3, and our chosen word for our week 3 is what is your name. When you meet someone that is you haven't know yet, well, first thing that comes to your mind is to ask if what is the person's name. So let's start in Spanish. We have what is your name as ¿qué es tu nombre? In Korean, in Japanese, we will say Nani desu kimino namae. In French, we will say Quoi, votre, nome. In Korean, we will say moi, ida, neoui, ileum. In Russian, you will say Kakiye, yavlyayetsya, tvoy, imya. In German, you will say was ihre name. In Portuguese, you will say okay, sua when referring to female, and say you if you are referring to a male. So if, for example, I'm referring to my son, let's say okay, say you nome. Alright, so we have completed our week 3 with its disclaimers based on my observation. And thank you so much for watching, and you do have a wonderful day again. Bye!